Reading is fun, except for when it's not fun. While some people enjoy the company of a Harry Potter novel, or even well, that's it really. Most people don't tend to read anymore. Unless it's to look up what loony antics that Pete Davidson fella is up to. Or hate comments on things you don't really care about, but you know that someone will care about it, so you get influenced by their negativity and jump in on the hipster hate train. Just me? Throughout history, authors have written things they probably shouldn't have. Like Peter as a on the school desk. Sorry, Peter. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, people look at these writings and think, oh, I say, before abruptly closing the book, opening the other book, the face one, and proceeding to discuss how much they hate said book, all the while bringing more attention to it, you silly bitch. Anyway, let's do exactly that today and talk about things that you shouldn't discuss with your parents. The Anarchist Cookbook. First impressions, what a delightful font. Written by William Powell, pronounced Powell. Ironic considering what the book is about. The book is packed with instructions on how to make everything, from homemade this one thing, booby traps, haha, booby, and all these other things that when said back to back on a YouTube video would probably get my door kicked in, my head smashed into the desk, and I'd be, or worse, demonetized. It wasn't very subtle about anything either. It quite literally would give you the instructions on how to make a no-no device, using stuff from under the sink in your mother's kitchen. The book was born out of Powell's rage towards the US government. Woo, politics! Unfortunately, bro didn't just write a protest. He wrote a how-to manual for causing chaos, like putting a deflated rugby ball in your mouth and then switching the pump on. The book contained recipes for cocktails, Crash Nitro Kart and Marmite, homemade lasagna, and a few other fun and wholesome things. While technically not fully banned in the US, the book is heavily suppressed. Bless him, I hope he gets better soon. Restricted and removed from libraries, bookstores, and crafting hour at the preschool. It's flat out banned in Australia, but to be honest, they'd ban Winnie the Pooh for public indecency if they could. And also in the UK, which probably explains why the pavement is your bin in London. Powell later regretted writing the book and completely turned his life around, starting a non-profit organisation with his wife for children with developmental disabilities and learning disabilities. He even begged for the book to be removed from circulation, but unfortunately never managed to rid the world of this virus before his passing in 2016. That was an explosive start to the video, wasn't it? It was like being kicked in the shin by a coral reef. Now there's lots of books I could talk about being banned, but unfortunately a lot of them are very heavy themes. No, not that kind of theme. If you want to see the whole list, you could probably Google it and then you'd realise that a lot of the themes are more or less the same, just recycled in different books. But for this particular video, we're just focusing on a couple of interesting ones. Way to specify that halfway through the video, you sad sack of shit. Oh boy. It translates to my snuggle. Struggle. Yeah, checks out. He doesn't look like a very snuggly person. It was written in 1924 by Henry Ford's mate during his stint in prison. Oh man, he was arrested? Dude, you think you know a guy? It's part autobiography, part unhinged rant, part instruction manual for how he planned to reshape Germany, and part paper. He spoke about his childhood and early life, when it was his turn to pass the ball and he threw the wrong one. His beliefs in the superiority of the Aryans, which I'm sure are lovely people, don't get me wrong. Conspiracies blaming Jaws for everything, and calls for living space, which meant expanding the country at all costs. I'm sorry guys, I'm really trying to keep this video from going in the big no algorithm jail. Germany banned it for decades, and other countries restricted it for years. And the state of Bavaria, who owned the copyright for it, refused all publication until it expired in 2016. The copyright, not Bavaria. They are still very much thriving. Should you read it? Ask a historian and they'll give you a detailed 40-page PowerPoint on why you're a knob just for asking that question before they proceed to buy the book for you themselves and breathe down your neck like a Hungarian horntail while you read it on the train home. Ask an educator and they'll also say yes, but only if you're teaching how dangerous ideas take root, and very condescendingly telling you that you're probably just going to end up working at the ticket booth for a museum one day. Ask everyone else and they'll probably just laugh at you because it's the equivalent to a dad joke getting more than a dozen likes. American Psycho, with the chiseled chin they could make Captain America's shield with. God damn, bro. It's a 1991 novel about a fella who's a New York investment banker by day and every Netflix documentary by night. Now you may think the controversy lies in the gore, perhaps the disturbing details of what goes on those Aspen pages. Enough to get indexed in Germany, shrink wrapped in Australia, and selectively banned in Canada and New Zealand. But no, the real controversy lies on the front cover. Before you can even flip one of those freshly printed pieces of visual heaven, you're greeted by something that can only be reacted to by a long, threatening, goosebumps-inducing gasp, followed by that random croaking sound in your throat. Behold the author, Bret Easton Ellis. Looks like a completely normal name, right? Wrong! Read between the lines, man. Bret Easton Ellis. B-E-E-S-T-O-N. E. Can't believe I'm saying this, but this book was written by a bee. Perhaps the same one that stung Amber's dog.
That's it? That's the
Joke?
Jokes aside, the reality is the book was too much for the average reader. If you've got a strong stomach and a taste for dark satire, give it a go, you sick fuck. With caution, naturally. If you're looking for something cute to read at the beach while your kids are busy fighting a seagull with a bucket and a dead jellyfish, maybe pick a different book. Or just watch a K-drama. Before this next one, I need to pee. The Voynich Manuscript. Voynich? Where have I heard that before? This book is banned on a technicality. Not because you're not allowed to read it, but because you're stupid. Calm your croissants, let me explain. The book is written in a language that nobody understands, and filled with plants no one's ever seen. It's a mysterious handwritten book from the early 1400s. Back when I was young, and I didn't have marks on my forehead that made me look like I've just done a diving headbutt off the top rope. Good times. It's packed with script that can't be deciphered. Alien-looking plants, weird astrological patterns, and women bathing in green slime pools. I mean, I'd hardly call them women. More like store-bought chicken breasts with the crust still on. No one knows who wrote it, or why, or how, when and where. Wales. Or what language it's in. Every attempt to decipher it, from World War II codebreakers to modern AI, has completely failed. Some think it's a pharmaceutical guide from another world. Others call it an elaborate hoax. I call it Justin because an elaborate hoax is a silly first name. House of Leaves. This one technically isn't banned. It's not? Well, in that case, I Leaves. It's an experimental horror novel by Mark Z. Danielewski, and calling it a book is like trying to light a dark room up with a Tamagotchi. It's just not enough. It's a labyrinth of a story, so bizarrely written that you'll succumb to the terrifying void that lurks not just in your walls and in your love life. Honestly, mate, lose the gold chain, you look like CeeLo Green. But also in your mind. So what makes it so creepy? Pages go blank, words trail off, text spirals, or hides in corners, mimicking claustrophobia and descent into madness. It's not for everyone. It scared off more than a few casual readers, since dark adult themes including trauma and existential dread make it emotionally heavy. Like Marley and Me. Death Note. Bloody hell, this one could make a whole ass new anime just for the amount of bans. Death Note is a manga. A cultural and legal minefield that's gotten people arrested, expelled, banned, and spooked out of their minds. In brief, the plot follows Light Yagami, a genius student who finds a notebook dropped by a literal death god. The catch, write someone's name on it, they get booted to Swindon. No, I'm joking, it's not as bad as that. They die. There's a lot more details to it, such as writing how and when it will happen, even creating elaborate scenarios. If Light wanted a gigantic bladed toenail to be yeeted across Japan on the world's largest slingshot, taking out a plane full of elderly couples celebrating their 50th anniversary together, a children's hospital where a couple dozen firefighters have gone in to cheer the kids up, a kennel where all 32 dogs just found a new home, and Brendan Fraser. He could have made that happen. Or did he? I'm not going to spoil it for you, you watch it yourself, silly. Death Note was banned in multiple countries and schools, especially after people started mimicking it. China banned it altogether. Probably just jealous. In the US, several schools expelled or suspended students for bringing their own version of the notebook to class. Some were writing down classmates, teachers, and even school staff. That geography teacher gotta go! In Russia, parents tried to get it banned after a very unfortunate situation in which their daughter committed suicide. And even one kid in New Mexico made a Death Note list, leading to a police investigation. All this for some edgy fantasy. You didn't see me jumping into carts from the top of cathedrals in Venice when I had an obsession with Assassin's Creed. My mate that I pushed off the cathedral, however, essentially the whole thing was treated like a real threat. Like global warming, am I right? And for today, I'd say that will do. That's what she said. If you guys enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of video. I definitely need to know. Let me know if it was too much in the comments, or let me know if it wasn't enough in the comments. I love all kinds of criticism, so please be blunt with me. If you made it this far in the video, thank you ever so much. You are incredible. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already, because I would appreciate that a lot. That said, I will catch you all in the next one. I love you all. Take care. Guys, if we hit 7,000 subscribers, how can I put this?